Sounds good. And
who are we doing? Who are we doing this for? This pod?
Who are we doing this for?
Who are you doing this pod? Who is it for?
It's for the people.
Is it? Do they want it?
Yeah. They want one more. I love that. The honesty of the comment section. They were like, one more, and then that's enough because I don't want Flav. Flav hasn't got it in him. Flav hasn't got it in him. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I do too.
It's
I appreciate that. I actually love that.
Yeah.
I was like, no lads, you need a break.
Yeah, we do.
I don't want to hear it.
They do need a break
Because the product could suffer, couldn't it?
Yeah, and they want the best. They just want us to be the best we can be.
And that's what it's about.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Let's roll! Isn't it?
You got the same top on as me.
I know, but I don't absolutely stink. And you know that, Flav, because I said I could take this off and you went, no, keep it on.
Yeah, keep it on.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the One for the Weekend podcast. See what I did there, Flav?
What?
Our customary let's roll.
Let's roll.
Let's roll, which is stormed the comment section.
That's it.
Oh, it's incredible.
I couldn't look back at that video because what it was about. Yeah, but it did quite well. It was
a joy, wasn't it? We put it out. 20 minutes later. Let's roll.
Literally like 15 seconds after it was released, just because it was the first thing, everyone was just posting let's roll.
Funny. So yeah, let's roll.
So you're supposed to edit that out?
Never.
No, you kept it on purpose.
No. You know the rules.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I've literally never ever said that before.
Yeah, what?
No, you say it all the time.
Let's roll.
You say it all the time.
Let's roll.
That's why you call yourself the ham roll, the big ham roll.
No,
that's what everyone calls it. No. Don't they say?
Yeah, I've heard
call
it before.
The big ham roll.
Do you see when you say something that entertains you, you go.
Do I? Yeah, that's interesting. Like Tam is the big dog.
Big dog.
You're the big ham roll, and we all go woof woof woof. But with him, it's like the slap a ham, innit? You go big ham roll.
Let's roll.
So we do that. That's what we do. That's what we do. We do that all the time.
I feel like I've just done a year at school. And in my school uniform, school holidays. And
imagine Flav in school uniform.
And you've just rung me up and gone. Actually, after failing my exams at the end, you've rung me up and gone, come in and do double science.
Yeah.
In the first week of my summer holidays.
It's more like let's have a chat about your year, young boy, and you come. That sounds awful.
Young boy.
And that's what we're doing here. We can review some of the bits and pieces. We'll talk about England, Netherlands. Probably briefly, or I'll do the bulk of the talking because Flav didn't see it. Talk about Champions League.
I've got some ideas about it.
Great. I've got a new theory. Going to head to Twinkles one last time.
Oh, shit.
Why not?
Yeah.
Tanvir's going to tell us what he's slaying as well. We're sponsored this week, last week of the podcast, sponsored once more by those guys at 888. They've been up to their old tricks again, haven't they?
Fucking
Steve McInerney, this
scamps.
time from a Steam company, gobbing off, and he's claiming. So you can, we'll show you a snippet, a very small snippet, but you can. What we want you to do, head over to the 888 channel, do this for us, parting gift. Head over there and let Steve McInerney know what you think about what he said here, which is that Man United won't win the league for another decade.
My unpopular opinion is that Manchester United won't win the league for another 10 years. I think in general, they're stuck by what they used to be. And I think the fact that they've got Solskjaer proves that they're really harping for the days where they used to walk the league. But it isn't going to happen anymore.
Hot take from McInerney there.
Yeah,
so
he's probably right. It's not that much of a hot take.
Well,
we said 20 years.
But yeah, do you think Man United, T, you're a Man United fan. T's here, the big dog is here on the ones and twos for the final one. Do you think Man United will win the league in the next 10 years?
Be honest.
A good question.
Be honest.
Be honest.
It's a good
yes.
question.
In the next 10 years?
No chance.
Are you mad?
Well, hang on.
Crazy.
How long has it been since you last won it? How many years? This is knowledge. Shit.
I don't know.
I think, what was it, 2013?
2000 and...
What was last time Fergie was here? So
yeah, and it's been like 8 years.
that's a long time. You're just
It's doing that thing where you panic, where you're doing the maths, but you're not doing the maths. You're just
No, I just honestly don't know the maths.
Man United, they won't win the league in the next 10 years. They're a normal club with a big stadium. That's all it is. There's this idea of what Man United is that isn't real anymore. And it's the same. Every cycle is the same. Every football club has a cycle.
How long is this cycle? That's the question.
And the more you spend, the longer the cycle is. And that's it.
The more you spend?
Yeah, the more you spend, the better your chances are of sustaining that cycle or being at the top of that cycle for a long time.
But what if you've fallen off the bike?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to get back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've broken your leg.
Yes.
And that's what Man United are now. I mean, like, you've got
We've just
Sam
a club with
Peoples.
a broken leg.
Sam Peoples making videos about De Ligt and who's the other one they want?
Daniel James about to buy.
Well, hang on. Making videos about De Ligt and Sancho. You're out of your mind. Who do you think you are?
Got cash money there,
James from who did he play for? Derby.
Swansea.
Literally never heard of him, and then you spent dropping £15 million on a player I've never heard of, and I work in football media.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the
I don't think that really means
anyone.
anything. We'll be playing an adult entertainer or a manager later in the podcast.
Excellent. But do you know what I mean? Man United, they're an illusion of what they used to be. Sorry, they have an illusion about what they are.
I like this bike analogy because
so
it's like a really expensive bike, and they got all the gear, but they've fallen off it and they have broken their leg.
They've got a really expensive bike, but the wheels are made of wood.
Yeah, and the cyclist is like, he's not one of those like really like
toned
slender guys. He's got a little paunch.
Someone like Flav.
He's got a bit like me. He's got a little fat belly, but really tight gear on.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's
the rest of
Man
he's really slim,
Yeah.
but just this little fat belly that is struggling to get rid of.
Yeah. Man United's
We're talking about Man United. I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, definitely it's me.
I think a decade. I think that will go like that, Samuel. Just
Mate,
to be clear.
It's not going to take anywhere near 10 years.
Oh, you are clueless.
Whatever.
You're so
Do you know
wrong.
what is
The challenges now are so much greater than when you were winning it, right? Because there was just Man United. You have to topple Liverpool. You know, who knows how long that's going to last for, but as long as Klopp's there, you'd think that they're going to challenge every year. Man City will never go away. That's two big challenges.
Mate, we were literally like second like 2 years ago.
Who?
Us.
Yeah. But how far away were you from winning
Second
the league?
isn't winning it, though, is
we're
it?
actually talking about. Weren't you like 25 points off? Something mad.
We were second.
that's how I asked it, damn it.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you is we
I
were
think
second.
I don't. You
Well, who
could
knows?
easily not win the league.
It's much more likely that you don't win the league.
If we just plug up a few key roles, get a technical director in.
Do you know what Sammy's got? And this is what all fans have got now, is the peace that comes with the end of the season. Win or lose, good season, bad season, it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
I don't care. I'm just
done.
happy it was fucking over. That
Whereas,
was
whereas like
good.
3 games left, you're just like,
Yeah.
no, there's a peace and serenity.
Can
to
I?
it, which is nice to see. Could be something else.
I'm also glad. I'm exhausted. Football's absolutely done me in this year.
Yeah,
That's
you seem
so
different.
many highs and lows.
I'd like over the last. I said it a couple of weeks ago. Like your frequency was
Yeah.
a few weeks ago because you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Champions League final. Oh my god, Arsenal forever in our shadow. And then last week it was like
Just all came back, crashing back down, didn't it?
it was like this. And if you think of the thought pattern that you're going through, there's little moments of like, oh, we could win it. So it's it's like that.
Yeah, pretty
Now
much. It's just like.
You haven't even got that really. You've just crashed and burned.
It's hot. It's a weird. Yeah. This is hurting.
sorry, mate.
This is hurting.
That's what it's about, though, isn't it? Cathartic, really. In time, it'll feel cathartic. Reasons to listen. Go. Link is in the description. Do us a favour. Click on the link. Watch it. Click the like button on their video, and tell them what you think. Thank you. Reasons to listen. Taylor Lomas. This is the first podcast I've watched on this channel, and it was absolutely brilliant.
What else is he? Well, there was
Definitely
nothing else on this
surprising.
show.
On this channel.
Great transfer chat with Christian Hennage.
I
Knows
spoke
stuff,
to him as
does
well
know
for
stuff.
the Fighting Cock Patreon.
He's your go-to, isn't he?
Oh, mate,
He's
he knew everything about lsot.
He's got a lovely way of speaking. D said, immense podcast, and he wouldn't lie. With D. Literally just a letter D.
Stand-up guy.
And Laupa Mateus, best single podcast of all time.
Wow.
What that episode last week?
Was good last week, I thought.
Yeah. It was
People
really
go, new dynamic. No, you just want a
no.
Liverpool guy. You just want a Liverpool guy.
No, it's
well,
not.
tough.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Once a year, fine, but no more.
It's not a new dynamic. This
I
is
can get
the
a word in.
dynamic. Either you like it or don't watch.
Yeah.
I think we ain't getting another third person in.
Yeah.
Because one day when this,
Although Tavi, you are the third person.
yeah, it's true. But when the money comes in,
Yeah.
we're
will.
not giving it to someone else.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
He's not. Is he gonna?
But like a day rate.
Probably would be it.
A day rate?
No, what do you mean? You both, even if we'll always be here. Us three will always be together.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not sure about that.
In the future, we're going to need you, and
Okay.
you're going to be there
Well, if you.
because we're going to pay you a day rate.
Yeah, that
a day
sounds
rate.
good. Yeah. Okay. I'll always be here.
What's your day rate?
I haven't got one yet.
Well,
Probably like,
think of something. What's an acceptable amount to pay a day? For
probably
you?
like £150, £150.
Deal.
Yeah.
Fine. You doing the edit as well?
Do you know?
Done. Lovely.
£100. That's nothing.
We'll have a talk after this about your day rate.
I wouldn't
Need
even
to
take
change
a
that.
piss for £100.
I wouldn't take a piss.
I wouldn't even take a piss if I needed it for £100.
Maybe £150.
£150, mate. You don't know how fucking deep I'm rolling in pound notes. So deep.
Yeah.
Just like wading through them, like can't
like DuckTales.
drown like DuckTales
Yeah.
with £10 notes.
Yeah.
None of it's
DuckTales
true.
was really
I don't know
flawed.
why
I didn't realise at the
perpetuating
time.
this idea that I've got loads of money.
I
don't have loads
you
of
are
money.
though. You're what?
Yeah, you are.
I'm not what
Be honest. Can we turn it off? I'm freezing. I'm going to have hard nipples and I don't want to see Flav with hard nipples either. No one wants that.
I've had a nipple issue for quite a while.
Have you?
Yeah, ever since I was about 12. When I started blossoming.
12?
Yeah. I just, like, my nipples are about 80% of the time erect. And
80%?
Yeah, look, like,
So is it more like...
even now.
Wow.
What?
Is it more like... no, I just didn't expect that. Is it more like you noticed it?
No.
You noticed it when they're not erect? You're like, oh.
I can't remember them ever not being erect.
So it's more than 80% then, surely.
Yeah.
Incredible. Quotes of the week. Last week, these were some of the quotes of the week. If you want to go check them out, feel free. Sadie Salah. Do you think my mum knows everybody that I fucked?
Who said that?
You.
Did I?
What do you
What was the context?
about you fucking everyone?
talking
and
about
not
Flames
knowing
of
you
Ice,
fucked?
right?
Right, okay.
Andrew Ravi said, quote of the week, you can't go to QPR if you think you're going to win. You just turn up, get upset and then go home.
I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
AZ Wazy, his quote of the week was, my mate is an Anglo-Indian.
Yeah, that's true.
And Shiv, his quote of the week was,
My best
Solskjaer
mate.
spaffed on Oliver Kahn's face.
Yeah, that was last week or the week before, wasn't it?
Some of the quotes from last week. All right, big dog. How you doing, mate?
Good, good.
This has almost become a bit in itself. Stephen Harris said this. So this is in quotation. Someone said this in the pod last week. I think it might have been you, Flav. Shall I do... No, it's you, Tanvir. Shall I do a poll card? Yeah. Yeah. You then. Yeah. Do who deserves to win more to the Champions League final? And then this is the end of the quote. This is what Stephen's saying. Doesn't have a poll card.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well,
No,
you're keeping it up. You're keeping
do
it up.
your job.
Your standards are there. And he also...
Just do one poll card right, or
Yeah.
do it.
Not all bad for you, Tammy, though, as Dasmi Chat Show stepped in to squash the protein beef that's been going on.
Yeah,
between
there was
Seth
quite a few comments on that. I was quite happy about that.
I'm a certified personal trainer.
Oh,
Yeah,
have a day off.
No,
Oh,
he
you?
does.
Yeah, I
He
bet
does.
you are. Show us. I want a full frontal picture of you next week. Oh no, we're not here again now. That's it.
No, that's it.
Well, just
tweet
DM
you,
me
just
a picture of your.
Well, we can use it as fodder for next season. Fodder? Harsh. So I'm a certified personal trainer. All that matters is how much you're lifting and when you consume. Protein does not become fat. As long as Tanvir is lifting enough, he can do protein at any time.
He's not lifting though, is he? He's not going to the gym. He's just sipping protein.
4 times a week.
Do you even lift?
What?
bro?
Lifting 4 times a week or doing protein 4 times a week?
I'm going to the gym 4 times a week.
Right.
Is that lifting though?
Yeah.
Right.
You're not. You're just.
You're not lifting
going,
at the moment because you're a bit fragile. aren't
And when you
today?
go there,
Well, I'm not going today, and I'm also not taking protein
Why,
today.
when you
why
go
are
there,
you today?
Because I've just been ill.
he's got dicky tummy.
Yeah, had too much dick in my tummy.
That's weird.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant you're not well.
Tanvir.
But hang on, just to say, this
Oh
guy
my
says
God.
he's a certified personal trainer. Jim, I'm a certified personal trainer. Protein turns into fat.
yeah. See what
Let's not continue.
Right,
this.
you want evidence, is what you're saying. Yeah. No, fair enough. He, just to finish it off, he says muscle mass building requires between 85 to 150 grams of protein per day. The average 2,000 calorie diet only accounts for about 30 to 50 grams per day.
So you do need your protein.
Information only on this podcast. What are you feeling this week, Tanvir?
Have you had sex in the last week?
No, I've been ill. What do you want?
I just want you to be happy.
Tanvir showed me some of his DM strategy last week. It was great.
What is
I
it?
really enjoyed it.
What is it?
Sorry, this is
Why
how it
would you-
works.
Yeah,
basically.
go on.
This is how it works. We will talk about football. Stick with us.
There is no football, so it's fine.
True. We'll review some of the football.
Okay.
Tanvir was saying, Tanvir showed me this girl. She was attractive. Too young for me, but attractive. And I was like, so how does it work?
Yeah.
On Instagram. And he went, did you go first or did she go first?
She went first.
Of course she did.
She dropped into yours.
Nah, she liked like a couple of my pictures. At the same
Yeah,
time.
thirsty.
Like,
So this is how it
at the
works.
same time.
She's thirsty.
Yeah.
This is how it works. She's gone, like, Like.
And then you outright
Tammy's had a look and gone, hello.
like.
Hello.
Do you only get like 4 likes then on a thing? Are you looking through all your likes?
I don't get loads of likes. So
Right. Well,
if someone likes like 6 of my pictures at once, then it will stand out.
Yeah. Okay. So then he goes, okay. You can imagine saying that, can't you?
Yeah. Okay.
So then he goes, exactly. Then he goes over there. He goes, tap 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 tap. A few likes back. Very
Typing shit
polite,
on my picture.
very gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Then straight into the DMs.
Bam.
And he goes,
Tits.
he said this.
Show me your
he
tits.
said this.
Oh.
He said this. He went, do you know you're a sweet one?
Bow!
Fire!
Do you know you're
you're
a sweet one?
Sweet one.
You make me sick.
Well, you don't know what sweet one and all that shit is. So
What, it's a good, pretty girl?
It's just like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
I mean,
I
it's- yeah,
somehow
it's
worked
not
that
fucking code,
enigma
Jesus.
code out, didn't I?
Yeah, wow.
It's like, you should go, you got pretty eyes.
And then but then she messaged back, and I was like, now what do you do?
Yeah.
He said, well, let me have a think. He was like, back off. Let me have a think, let me see what I can do. Then like, I think after the weekend, I went, did you message him? He went, nah, I can be asked. Poor girl. Just like that.
She's nearly had the big dog.
Just waiting. She was that close to the big dog.
The big dog.
Having a little bite of the big dog.
Have you had much little pup action?
Oh, mate, so...
Well done to the little pups getting behind
So-
Tammy.
Little pups!
Obviously, last week I was talking about all these people commenting whenever I was chatting to girls on the timeline. So I was doing my thing this week, chatting to some girls, and then this girl was like...
Doing my thing. It's always in
and this-
public though on Twitter,
and
it's
this-
mental.
And this girl,
That's
and honestly,
stupid.
because I'm not always in the DMs. It's not always about the DMs.
But it doesn't make sense
it's
to do it in public
ooh,
because people, that's to
sometimes
the
it's
rest
like-
of the world.
It's like,
mate.
oh, iMessage games. Oh, like, this Snapchat, TL, timeline. You gotta switch it up. So,
Got to switch it up.
so I was chatting to this girl, and then I was like,
That's
I don't
men-
think you actually know how peng you are, and that's the only thing I said.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
mate.
then
That's-
loads of people came in. They were like, "Just DM her, bro. The little pups, the big dogs doing this
Mate,
thing."
mate, it's
This, that,
mental.
the other.
It's mental.
And then,
How many?
and then
How
like,
many?
literally like 10. And then I was like, you know
Big
what?
dog doing his
And then
thing.
I was like, you know what? I'll
That's
turn
on
this,
you, mate.
I'll turn this, and I was like, I went straight into her DMs, and then I was like, sorry about all these people. I knew something like that would happen, and then like,
'Cause
and
you're
then
famous.
we started having a conversation. So
That's-
it worked
see,
out.
That's
It
helped.
helps,
I think
it
it's
helps.
helped. I think it's helped. But I would say that's all. That's your fault. Any of those 10 people, that's your fault because no girl's going. Yeah, I mean, I like him, but he doesn't DM me on different platforms. He only DMs me on one. No, they don't. They're
Mate,
not saying that.
Jim, you don't know how it works.
Yeah, you are, I mean, come
You,
on.
how long have you been out the game?
Long time.
Give me a time.
No,
How many years?
8 years.
Never in the
8
game,
years.
really.
Huh?
Not that game.
Okay, did Twitter?
Never been in that game.
No,
Yeah.
Wait, did Twitter even exist back then?
Come on.
Twitter, yes, it did.
It did exist, but not
That's old.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
it didn't when I was in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So none of you guys really know.
No, we don't know. You're right.
I'm telling you what.
That
goes.
you have to switch up the platforms that you're doing, and
He's telling you.
You're
I'm
an
telling
idiot.
you.
You're an idiot.
If you
just
want
told
maximum chances, be like, oh, want to play some iMessage?
So
games?
can you just explain it one more time? So you said to him, you don't know how peng. You said to this bird, you don't know how peng you are, and then underneath the comments were,
Well, like literally so many things, like just DM her, bro. Hope she DMs you.
Yeah.
Big dog doing his thing. Little pops coming in. Somebody's gonna get slobbered on. Loads of shit like that.
Amazing.
I love this.
I love it.
I love it. See, the thing is people earn money out of this shit, right? Like I'm not. Like there are people called influencers, right? And they're people that you create stuff like this, and then people listen to. And the idea is that you put a brand in front of that, and that's how you make money. That's what this is all about, right? But what we're using it for is to get you guys to follow him on Instagram and call yourselves the Little Pups. And to help him pull
so
women.
good.
It's
I love
like,
this.
I didn't
I
like
love it.
but it's actually
I
fun.
love.
Never change.
We've
Never change.
got that Telegram group. No one ever talks about us. They just talk about it.
I know, they
the
love
whole thing. I love it. It's
Yeah,
so
like, I
good.
must have posted a picture of my haircut, and they posted it in there. They were like, "Wow, Big Dog's looking great."
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Quickly then, T, what are you slaying this week? What are you slaying?
That was it.
What, that girl?
I'm turning things around on Twitter. You know,
Okay.
I'm using the little pups to my advantage now.
Just love the Little Pups.
Good for you. Well done, Little Pubs. A few calm
work.
takes. Here we go. Ryan, he says, whilst we all undoubtedly want the podcast to continue throughout the summer, I'm not sure Flav could take being dragged in every Wednesday to talk about nothing but transfers. Looking forward to the new season's content.
Yeah.
Love you boys. Calm
That's
take. Hashtag no homo.
Beautiful.
Not
Nice.
needed.
What do you mean no homo?
He's put hashtag no homo.
What does that mean?
Yeah, but he didn't say anything.
Saying I love you, but not in that way. That's what he's.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
didn't
he's just
say
trying.
no homo.
You really didn't know. In this day and age, no homo is probably a bit offensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
no pedo. Keep that going.
What?
Cool.
Wait, what?
No pedo.
You never heard of that?
Well, you are actually of the age where people think you're a pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Me not so
that is
much.
so sad.
I am getting to. I'm getting to the age where I can legitimately be like thought of as a pedo because when you're in your 20s, you can't be a pedo in your 20s. But
No, I think about this.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's
Like,
really sad that men get to a certain age and then you're not allowed to. You can't do anything. You've just got to be asexual, haven't you?
A sex pest or a pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
just got to
sad,
keep
isn't
your
it?
eyes straight, basically, which is fine.
Yeah, which is not the end of the world because
Well, it would be for you.
Well, it's the end. If you're not, I'm in a loving relationship.
course you are.
I love her to bits.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
we're going to marry the woman.
bought her a fridge.
But I
Stag.
bought her. What do you call her?
Stag.
Oh, right.
Yeah. There you go.
Slag.
Shake your
It's not-
booty.
Yeah. Yeah. Going. Are you coming?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, come.
Come. What about fam? It's
think
not
she
a
was up
stag
for
do.
Stag. Isn't
I'm not having a stag
Get
do.
you
all
a
that.
fancy dress.
No.
Me and Adam Rosie Bum.
I will fight you. No.
Why
I mean,
not?
yeah. Come, yeah.
Not Rosebud, no.
All of them are welcome. I told everyone. It's up to them when they come. I don't give a shit.
You do.
I want you
Imagine
to
if no
come,
one
but I
came.
don't care if anyone else comes.
Right.
No, my brother's going to be there.
Now, Flav,
Yeah.
I was hoping that we were all going to be in a great mood because England were on the road to winning a trophy. They were going to be in a major final. It is a major final before you get, no, it's not really a trophy. Don't get me started on that shit. But England lost last night. Threw it away. I asked on Twitter for some calm takes on it. I haven't even read these, so let's see what comes out. Shandy said, the biggest problem with playing out from the back is the movement of the midfielders to create options for the defence, not the defenders. Yes, need more intelligent midfield players, not new defenders. Thanks. Kurt agrees, absolutely correct.
Who played in midfield?
So what happened was yesterday, we were terrible, and it felt like some of the old England performances where, you know, look, you've got some exciting attacking players, but in midfield, not really anyone was the guy who's like, give me the ball, I'll just calm this down for a second, keep it, turn, play forward passes. Declan Rice played in midfield with Fabian Delph and Ross Barkley.
Jesus.
And the
Well,
back
there's
four,
your problem, isn't it?
well, the back four was Chilwell at left back, Maguire, Stones, and Carl Walker. Most of the back four had pretty bad games, and for the goals, it was 1-1, and then in extra time, John Stones just shat the bed basically. Had the ball on the edge of his box, was messing about with it, didn't just lay it off to Jordan Pickford, and then got dispossessed. They got the ball, went on and scored from that. And then the last goal was John Stones in almost the corner, and he played, Ross Barkley came to kind of get it, was under a bit of pressure, did a bad pass to Jordan Pickford, and same thing happened. They got caught out. So for two of the goals, they got totally caught out for.
Yeah, I mean, it is the midfield is it's two issues. For one thing, I don't think Stones is our best centre back. I don't think he really should even be playing.
Do you not?
If Joe Gomez is fit, he should start. Just because of the type of player he is. Trent Alexander-Arnold starts ahead of Walker. And then obviously you've got Maguire.
So this is the big thing. Is that he didn't play any of the Champions League final players in the starting 11. He brought a lot of them out. I listened to his interview afterwards, and he was saying that it wasn't, and it was interesting to use this word because that really summed Southgate up for me. Because on the kickoff last night, there was a lot of talk about Southgate, and he's not got that charm. He's not real much of a orator. He's
So
like,
what? So what?
No, well, that was what was being put at him. It's like, you're not going to inspire these players because you.
But he inspired them to. You're talking about one game of football compared to a semi-final in the World Cup.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a Southgate fan.
I'm not a Southgate fan, but I don't think you can. You can't criticise him yet. Leave him alone.
You can criticise that performance.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's fine.
But the decisions that he made were the word he used, which was, he went, practically, it didn't make sense for these players to play because they'd had that game last week, and at the end of this game, our players seemed like they were out on their feet a little bit. So if you'd started these guys, then they would have been out on their feet.
So there's logic to it.
So he's very. That's the thing with him. He's for better or worse, and I think generally it's been better because he's made quite fair but like cutting decisions. He's changed the team quite a lot and brought in new players. But he's quite clear and calm with what he says because it comes from a place of logic and practicality.
Yeah.
Nothing else really.
Well, if he took a very, very average England squad, he found a system that we were unfamiliar with but worked. He developed a system for his playing squad that got us to the semi-final of the Champions League. Of the World Cup. And since then has started to blood young players way before other managers tend to.
Yeah.
Like Sancho, eventually Foden will probably be getting there. Hudson-Odoi would have been in there. He's been bold. I get he's boring. He's like probably the most boring man in football. But the results speak for themselves. And one game against fucking Holland.
Do you know what's a great point?
It doesn't really matter, does it? It's not the end of the world.
It's not. And
it's not like we're not going to qualify for the Euros. What difference does it make?
True. I mean, look, what it shows is it's a reality check. I think it's a reality check because I think, but even then, you've just made a really good point there. You'd hope in 3 years' time, or maybe even next summer, but yeah, certainly in the next World Cup, Foden's playing in that. Foden's that guy, isn't it? Because
Winks
Marco
as well
Iolo
didn't play. Winks would have done a great job in that midfield.
Yeah, Marco Iolo says, "Why don't we seem to be able to produce ball-playing centre backs? Players like Barkley and Stones shouldn't be around.
Gomez's.
Winks and Maddison needed, and Wan-Bissaka. So I think when you've got that three's not good enough. I think if you take any kind of passion or disappointment out of it, Delph, Barkley and Declan Rice at this moment in time, in terms of getting on the ball, turning around, because they had Frankie de Jong, who was brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
He is brilliant.
He is.
And he's going to be world class. That's why Barcelona have gone and got him. And Wijnaldum, who's great on the ball as well. But for England, if you get your head up and don't just concentrate on that performance, which was really disappointing, you can go, Harry Winks will be available at some point, Maddison will be available at some point, Foden's going to be brilliant.
Hudson-Odoi.
Loftus-Cheek is a great shout as well. And in that central midfield area, there are players like
Wan-Bissaka definitely.
But he's right back.
We're not.
Because I think the problem is...
We are getting... He's definitely registered to play for England.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
It's fine.
Because we're not doing David Brooks again.
David Brooks or
what was the other one we did?
Zaha. We screwed up with Zaha, didn't we?
What did we say?
Plays for Ivory Coast.
Yeah, I know
played
that.
him in a friendly. Didn't play him properly.
No, I'm saying us fucking up by thinking he's English.
Oh, right. Yeah, David Brooks, yeah. No, Wan-Bissaka's... everyone's desperate to get him.
But Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to be playing this, so where do you play Wan-Bissaka?
But
the squad's there.
But France have too many options. Other countries have too many options. You want too many options. The big glaring thing is that we don't have... Well, in that game yesterday, we didn't have that playmaker to come in. But the truth is, the calm take is, there are those players that are on the horizon. Yeah,
it'll be fine. We're gonna win Euros.
Can you think of any good reason why Winks doesn't at least make this squad? Best ball-playing deep playmaker we have, and is tidy and is very good at offering to the defenders on the ball.
He will make the squad.
I can answer this one as well. Southgate had to give the final squad before the Champions League final, so he didn't know
Winks was
just how fit Harry Winks was. He's good, Harry Winks, but is he good?
Yeah.
You'd know.
Yeah, I've been banging this drum for ages. He is really, really good.
Beautiful boy as well.
Lovely boy. There's a picture of him.
Hashtag no pedo for you. You got to say that. I'm fine.
No pedo.
I'm fine. I'm younger.
Well, how old is he? He's about 23. That's fine. I should be saying it to you. Yeah. Every time I speak to her, no pedo. Like that. No pedo, right? No pedo.
Well, you should both be saying it to each other, to be fair.
Don't tap, just once and up.
No pedo.
Paedophilia is not funny.
But no, he's really good. He's injury prone, unfortunately, dodgy ankles, but he's technically really reliable midfield. Your players can gamble when he gets the ball because they know he's going to keep it. He's going to recycle possession. Exactly that kind of player you need if you want to play out from the back.
He's going to be huge for you guys next season.
If he can stay fit, yeah.
If he can stay fit. Daniel Gray, England need to go more heavy on the youth to do anything noteworthy. Players like Sancho, Rice, Wan-Bissaka, Maddison, Barnes, Foden, Nelson, Abraham, Trent Alexander-Arnold should be in the senior squad. Interesting.
Should they? Because Abraham? If Abraham was 27, would you put him in that team?
No.
Right, exactly.
The only thing
we put him in because he's young.
Yeah.
He's played a season in the Championship. If he's 27 years old, playing for Aston Villa in the Championship, you wouldn't even be talking about him because he's 21 or 22. and he plays in Chelsea's reserve team. Let's stick him up top and let him lead the line for our country.
He needs a good season in the Premier League, absolutely.
He'll have an average season. He'll bag 10 goals. That's what will happen.
He will. I've said before, he'll get over 20 caps at least for England. In time. But yeah.
And like I said, like it's one game.
Yeah, chill out.
It's just it's one game with half our squad missing.
Do you know what as well? What must be infuriating is like a lot of people kind of angry about the performance. Beat Spain. We got out that group.
Croatia and Spain.
And Croatia.
Croatia was a final.
Yeah, Spain are like epic. Spain are so good, and we beat them.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Yeah, but you lose
and that
one
all
game.
gets washed away.
Well, yeah, it's just like, you know what? Twitter would be fine if you weren't allowed to talk about football.
Yeah.
So many opinions.
Too many. More calm takes, please. Here's a calm take. Champions League time. All right, you ready, Flav?
I'm ready.
Deep breath.
I'm ready.
Dan Jacques, calm take. Poch is good, but also overrated. 1 year ago, Spurs were better than LFC. 2 signings, and now they're miles behind, while Spurs have dropped more and more points every season. Yeah, a final is nice, but could this be Spurs reaching their maximum?
That's a calm take.
It doesn't feel like one. It feel like one.
Should we drop the calm takes thing?
Might have to. Let us know in the comments. Should we drop calm takes?
Who does he support, this guy?
I reckon you can guess.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't
yeah,
know.
all right. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, sure. Thoughts on thoughts on the final? Have you digested it all now? How do you feel about it?
I feel pretty bad about it.
How did you feel about the game?
Pretty boring, pretty poor game, wasn't it? I feel all right. Do you know what I mean? I kind of. It was a weird one because I was so drunk during the game, and I quickly realised that the minute I was alone was when I'd have to start processing it. So I just stayed out for as long as I could, and just kept people around me.
Right.
And then I found myself at like 3 o'clock in the morning in a Cuban dance bar, the hottest, sweatiest place I've ever been. And then I realised I reached the lowest point, and then had to go home and face my demons.
Wow.
So yeah, no. Look,
have you watched it back?
No, fuck no. I will never. Never. Not a single bit of it.
Can you remember the game?
Yeah, I can. I wasn't that drunk. The Liverpool were a better side and deserved to win.
You think?
I thought we controlled possession, but we didn't do anything of it because their defence was so good. Like Matip was okay, but Van Dijk, probably in terms of his value to a team, the best player in Europe.
Van Dijk?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Him or Messi or Ronaldo, that kind of levels of influence over a game. So he's incredible. And
what do you think about the negative stuff that Harry Kane's been given in terms of his performance and the fact that he played? Like we were chatting in the office before, one of the guys, Craig, he thinks he's the egomaniac.
Well, you can't go from being absolute garbage in everybody's eyes and the joker in the game to becoming one of the best strikers in Europe without it impacting your ego in any way. It's not like he's gone to Poch and goes, "You're going to play me."
Yeah,
that's never going to happen. That never happened. I can't. Players have been like shunted out of Spurs for showing disrespect to staff.
Yeah, like that.
Just like that. So it's not like he doesn't have control of his squad. I think Poch looked at him. He'd had the tests to prove that he was fit, and he was fit because he wouldn't have played otherwise.
And he played the whole game. Yeah, this is what I don't understand.
It's not that he was unfit. It was that it was really hard for him because Liverpool are so good defensively.
Absolutely, and watching the game, and because with the kickoff you get to see all the up to stats and all that stuff. If you watch it, the way that Liverpool defended. And apparently it was really hot out there, so apparently that might have played a part. They didn't press like they normally did, so the sort of middle of the field was quite congested, and because of that, Trippier got the ball a lot, Danny Rose got the ball a lot, but then they didn't really try and play it to Kane because there were too many bodies in between. What they were actually trying to do was play this ball over the top, and Son was trying to make these diagonal runs. So Kane touched the ball 11 times, I think, in the first half or something, or maybe even the whole game. The reason he didn't touch the ball much was not because he was unfit, or it was because Liverpool managed the game quite well and made sure that he wasn't able to get the ball because he is such an attacking, such a part of the attacking play. Because when you have him there as that hold-up man and he's able to turn and play passes, Spurs look great. So I think it's like I'm blown away with like this idea that he's selfish. He wants to play, but then it's on Pochettino if you play him or not. He deserves zero.
It's like you get.
I don't get it.
You get dug out for a player that wants to play, that actually wants to put on a shirt and do the best for his team, and then you get dug out if you. Well,
if you're Daniel Sturridge,
does he want it? Does he want it? Exactly. This guy wants it too much.
Yeah.
You don't want it enough.
Yeah.
It's like
what's the right amount?
Well, it's just what you got to remember is all these stories come out from the kind of lazy journalism.
Massively.
These people need stuff to write about, so they just Spurs lost. It's because Harry Kane isn't fit and forced his way into the team.
Click, click, click.
Doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's just the shit
they're
saying. But yeah, no, fair play to Liverpool, man. They were the better team and deserved to win it in the end. As hard as that is to say.
And bothered about Eriksen going?
Yeah, of course, because he's great, but. He's been there 7 years. It's not like a level of disloyal. You can understand he wants to go on and do other things.
Especially Danish players as well. Like they love to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Yeah,
so that is something
you can understand it. I don't hold anything against him. Like when he leaves, I'll never think about him again. But I understand it. But people are getting a lot twisted here. He's saying if a bid comes in for me from a big club, I would like I'd like a new challenge, something new. But staying at Tottenham isn't a bad thing. And the other thing around it is that saying if this offer doesn't come in, he'll sign a new contract. So what happens is you take one.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh.
So one part of the interview was I'd like to try something new, which is obviously the big story.
You just run down that road.
The rest of it, the headline is never going to be if a big bid doesn't come in, I'll sign a new contract. So they just take the best thing, and it probably will leave because. Why wouldn't Barcelona or Real Madrid want a player like Eriksen if they can afford him?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of players that have said, I think it's goodbye, and then they're wanting to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona, and so how much money can Real Madrid have?
No, well, they
can't be infinite.
No, it isn't. It definitely isn't infinite. They spend a huge amount of money on their players already.
And it looks like they've Hazard already as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be what? That's going to be about 500 grand a week, something like that.
Yeah, I don't really see a team with Eriksen and Hazard in it. Doesn't really, because defensively Eriksen sometimes struggles. He's not the quickest.
He's not the quickest, but that's not part of his game. His weakest part is he's defensive. He's terrible in defence. Like you ever see him go through a 50-50 ever? He pulls out of everything. He's weak. He's terrible in the air, but he's an absolute magician with the ball at his feet. And actually, you've seen a lot of Spurs fans being a little bit selective with their memory, saying, is he that good anyway? Yeah, he's fucking that good. He's better than... I've said this a couple of times and people are like, what? But I'd much rather Dele Alli be leaving than Eriksen. Eriksen's a better player.
Oh, yeah.
He's more effective.
And you get more money, I think, with Alli as well.
Yeah. Probably.
It's close,
probably.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it would be close. But, footballers leave your club. You can't keep them forever.
True.
You see Aubameyang's stopped following Arsenal on Instagram after a bid from China.
Has he? I love the signals in the summer.
Yeah. The thing is
Lawrence was saying Depay's doing kissy faces at Liverpool, and I was like,
Memphis Depay.
Yeah, and I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, like he's read that.
Yeah.
He's read that he's flirting with them. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because there's all these weird different signals that in the summer months. It's and a big part of it now is following, unfollowing, and shit like that. It's hilarious.
But it's weird that if you're...
Apparently Aubameyang liked 6 of Barcelona's photos.
Damn, he should move into DMs.
Yeah. Aubameyang going to Barcelona.
Did Barcelona come back?
You're a sweet one. That's what Tanvid does. Not blaming that at all. It's the different platforms I don't understand. Once you're in a platform...
He can't help it, can he? It's just in his system to spread the seed.
Drip him with sauce.
I've
got a theory. I've got a football theory.
I'm going to put it in that one, and later I'm going to put it in that one. And next week I'm going to put it in that.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm planting trees. What are you doing for this plant?
Planting trees. Wonderful.
I've got just for the record, if anyone thinks they're serving society by having children, you're very much mistaken.
Taking up space.
Yeah.
I've got a theory. So there's this documentary. I don't know if people know about this. It's called 7 Up, and it's It's always been around in British culture because it's been going for...
What have you been watching lately?
Doing it again. What are you watching later?
No, what are you watching later? Go on, you carry on.
No, I'm watching some stuff on Netflix, you know. Do you watch Netflix?
Yeah, I've been watching that Jailbirds.
What's that about?
It's about women in prison, in this tower in prison.
What, that's like Orange is the
Have you
New
seen
Black?
that?
No.
No, it's not Orange is the New Black, it's factual. Sorry, Jim.
Oh, okay.
Done. Are you good?
Yeah.
We're just having a convo, Jim.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, were you going to talk about this documentary you watched?
Yeah.
Right, I don't know if we're a part of that, are we?
Yeah, well, you're going to be a part of it, aren't you?
Okay.
It's got to be good now.
Yeah.
Right, this is my theory, okay? So this thing called 7 Up, right? And basically, it's a documentary where they found 15 7-year-olds and asked them lots of questions about life and different things. Then they went and met them. They followed them throughout their lives, okay? Every 7 years. They met up with them all again and got a snapshot of their life. And it's an incredible, brilliant
So every 7 years
documentary.
they go back and ask them.
So,
find
yeah,
out.
and they changed the name of it. They call it 7 Up, then it's 14 Up, then it's 21 Up. Is that right?
Yep.
Great.
28 up.
Exactly.
So on.
Things like that. And they're now up to 63 up.
Wow.
And the phrase
Any of them died?
I can't remember, but there's like so in the recent one, which I've seen one of them. One of the guys has got, I think he's got throat cancer at the moment. So you are getting to that point where you're thinking, oh wow, are we going to see him again in 7 years' time? So it's an incredible documentary. I would suggest you go and watch it. Anyway, the phrase in it is the phrase that they talk about is like show me a 7-year-old and I'll show you the man. Basically, the idea and the theory of that is that the 7-year-old and the way that person is the way that person will always be.
Yeah.
The core of them will always be that same person. And for like one of the guys is this like cheeky chappy Eastender, and he's just he was a jockey and then he was a taxi driver.
A jockey?
Yeah.
On a horse?
He was a little guy, yeah,
Right.
yeah. But he's always this cheeky chappy. Then the 63-year-old guy is the exact same as the 7-year-old kid, and so the theory's true with that. Right?
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, and I was wondering, in football sense, is how good your team was when you were 7 years old? Is that how you always look at your football team?
Good.
Okay.
Right.
And I think it's true because QPR when I was 7, 93, 94, I know. We finished 9th in the Premier League. And in my head, because I think you were always like, where are we? And like, we're struggling at the moment. But I remember these great years where it was here. And then if you go beyond that, you'd be like, oh my God, this is ridiculous, right, from there on. My level point, in my head, I see QPR as like a mid-table Premier League team. I know that will blow people's minds.
No.
I mean, it hasn't happened for a long time. But when I was 7, that was us. We were.
I remember.
And so I do
Gary
like.
Penrice.
So when I've got to deal with like, oh, you're nothing. You're a nothing team.
Yeah.
That it is difficult because in my heart, I
not.
am the 7-year-old who was watching us finish. Let me just say, 9 points ahead of Chelsea.
Where were Spurs that year?
We were 15 points ahead of Spurs that season. So I wanted to test this out with you.
Well, yeah, mine would have been 80. Spurs finished 2nd. We nearly won the league. Everton beat us.
Oh, is that? No, I thought it was this season. When you were 7. 88, 89?
I was born in 81. So what's that, 87,
right.
88?
87, 88. Okay.
Yeah, so we
So it's not that one.
in that season, Clive Allen scored 47 goals.
Yeah.
And Spurs
insane, isn't it?
Spurs nearly won the league, but Everton won it.
But do you agree with that theory? When you think of Spurs, do you think of Spurs?
I get what you're saying. No.
No, that's fine.
Because actually it was probably a bit later, and we were so shit during the kind of 90s through the 2000s.
Okay.
So I always think of Spurs as that.
So because with the documentary, there are some guys who like there's these really posh kids who have then actually seen the world and gone, okay, it's not like I thought it was as a 7-year-old. So there are, for some people the theory works, for some people the theory doesn't work. But what I was intrigued for people who listen. Let me know in the comments, what was the season that your team, and where did they finish? And do you agree? Is that how you still see your team?
He does. Because
do I still see Man United as a treble-winning side?
Yeah.
No,
Is that what you were
they're
when you
trash.
said
Yeah,
it?
but no, it's not. That's not what you think they're trash. But that's how you kind of feel about the football club. That you're that. Still.
Yeah, I
You
do.
see
I
them
do.
as that.
I do
See them
feel
as that
like
club.
yeah, it is a mighty club, but we've been trash for so long.
But now you're buying championship
it's
players.
so hard to watch.
You can't get anyone
And
else.
still a decade of drought to come, according to Steve McInerney. Go check it out.
2 decades.
2 adult entertainers and a manager. Quick final game, last game of the season. Danny Lightfoot.
So this is this is championship managers and 2 adult performers.
Well, this
And I've
little
got
twist on this for these final 2.
Okay.
Porn star or manager. 2 of the 5 were English league managers last season. Okay, can you pick out the 2?
Okay.
Oh shit, I don't know. Antonio Mallorca, Pep Clotet, Gabriel Quaffy, Nacho Vidal, Julio Gomez. I actually don't know the answer to this, and he hasn't put the answer to this. So, Danny Lightfoot, let us know in the comments.
Just do some searching it up.
Is Danny Lightfoot? Is he a porn star?
No. Who would you go for?
I can't even remember who you said.
Antonio Mallorca, Pep Clotet, Gabriel Quaffy.
Pep Clotet isn't a porn star.
Okay.
And
Nacho Vidal. I love that's the way you're figuring it out. That's amazing. But you know that Antonio Mallorca is.
I don't know.
Let's forget that one.
Yeah.
Rui Goodwin. This one's good. 2 are female porn stars, and 1 is the manager of the Scotland women's national team. Okay.
Yeah,
Lauren Phillips.
Yeah.
Kim Little.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Mace.
Mackenzie Mace is definitely a porn star. 100%.
They love some alliteration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know what she looks like, but and what's the other 2?
Kim Little and Lauren Phillips. Which one do you think is Scotland's
I think
women's national?
Lauren Phillips is the English manager.
It's quite a boring name, isn't it?
Scotland manager's got to be.
Incorrect. Kim Little is the women's national team manager. Rui Goodwin, thank you for that. New rules. Danny Galloway. # new rules. So this has been good, isn't it? This has worked quite well. New rules.
It's good.
I'm not going to explain it. For fuck's sake, if you're this far in, sure.
We're just making football.
It's a new rule. It's a new rule. Football.
New rule for football. Go on.
A new line on the pitch, 30 yards from each goal. And from the 85th minute onwards, any goal scored where all 11 members, including the goalkeeper of a team, are inside the opposition,
Counts double.
This excludes penalties. I like the idea of that.
I also like the idea of
Huge gamble to get the goalkeeper up there, isn't it?
But if you're good in possession, in tight spaces.
Yeah.
You know that line as well, 30-yard line. If you score from behind the 30-yard line,
It counts as a double.
double goals.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I reckon the way that would evolve is that it would be corners in particular. The goal would be straight up.
Still a gamble, isn't it? Only 3% of corners are scored.
But still, it's probably your best bet, and you've got
If you
time to
need,
get back.
Yeah.
IED, # new rules. Teams can no longer draw. There is no extra time, all penalties. Managers pick 2 players each and send them out on the pitch to play Wembley doubles. Keeper is the 4th official, first to 3.
I like the idea of like if it's a draw, then you send in 1 player from your squad into the centre circle and 1 player from your opponent's squad, and then they have to fight.
Yeah.
And the first one to get floored loses. And that would mean
knocked out or
knocked down. Knocked down. And
who would you put forward for Spurs?
what I was saying is like you have to change in the same way that they use enforcers in ice hockey. People just there to protect the star players or fight. You'd have to have that. So I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with. I feel like Mr. Sissoko could do some damage.
Yeah. I think the Dolman's quite tough.
Yeah, but he doesn't like look tough, does he?
Whoa,
Trippier, mank lad, isn't he? He'd be ready to scrap.
Like a little bulldog.
Yeah. Knowlesy, every team gets an all-out attack wild card where they can bring on every substitute off the bench onto the pitch for the rest of the game. I'm okay with that.
What, every game?
All of them. You're bringing on 7 players.
In the Champions League Final, 12.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've still got your guard and the other one hasn't. And Steve Costino, instead of a half-time short whistle, a bell sounds that goes for 1 minute. Any player can then pick up ball, rugby style, run down the pitch while avoiding tackles and kick it out of their hands to try and score a goal. Always guarantees. I love this. Always guarantees an exciting finish. Like he's seen it before. Thank you for your new rules. This is well, This is under new bits, but it's not really a new bit because it's the last one of the season. But Simon Batchelor, starting a new thing again. Hashtag timestamp of the week. I could have done with that at the start of the season.
What?
A timestamp. Because it would have made my life a lot easier. Now you tell me, Simon.
Yeah, but it's not his job, is it? Sure, it's our job.
Yeah, maybe.
He's just watching. So what's he saying? He's going to do a timestamp of the...
Yeah, he said that's what should be the thing. Instead of quote of the week, you should have timestamp of the week, which would have made my life a lot easier, but it's now...
Oh, right. But he's suggesting you... Yeah, whatever. I've got a gripe. Shit's been bothering me this week.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
So after, there are a few mental Spurs fans. And it goes for all football fans, really. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going, oh, Levy's got to go. He hasn't bought any players, and Pochettino's naive because Kane shouldn't, and Spurs are shit, and we fucked it up, and we'll never get there again. And like, I don't deserve this. And I'm like, what the fuck have you done? Like, all you did one day was I follow Spurs now. And because you said that, and you convinced yourself in your heart, you think you deserve lots of good things. You deserve to win the Champions League. You don't deserve anything. You're just following your football club. What right do you have to win anything? What right does anyone have to win everything? The most you can do is buy a ticket to go to the football. That's the most. That's your biggest influence. And maybe sing at the football. Yeah. That's it. You don't deserve anything. None of us do. Don't walk around on Twitter or walk around going, why are they letting us down? They're not letting. What have you done to not be let down? What do? You just sit and follow a football club, and sit there and go, well, look at what we failed again. So what? Every team fails every season. It's a sport. You don't deserve anything. You deserve what happens.
I think there are.
You chose QPR.
Yeah.
Do you deserve to have to watch your club, be
mediocre
in the Championship for all this time?
Well, I mean, you're doing it now by saying the Championship doesn't matter, or two isn't entertaining.
I'm not saying that.
He didn't say that.
I didn't say that. You're being.
You do.
It came out of your mouth.
Let's have a mature conversation.
He's very sensitive, isn't he?
Let's have a mature conversation.
But what I'm saying is, it's like I don't, just because I was lucky enough that my dad supported Spurs, so I did. I don't do anything to make Spurs win the Champions League. No. You follow your football club, whether they're shit, mediocre, or great. It doesn't matter. It's your football club, and you hope the people that run it are going to do it to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
But that's all. You haven't done anything.
I think especially your lot, as in, and when I say your lot, the teams that are battling out for those trophies every single year.
That we're privileged.
You're so privileged.
I know.
You are.
I'm so lucky.
And so Bolton fans.
I know. They might not even have a fucking football club. Yeah. And you're losing your shit over this.
That's it. And that's so for me as a fan of a team that has gone up and down different divisions, what the only thing I can come back to is due diligence and good intentions. That's all there is. That's all I can control.
Yeah.
Are your intentions correct? Are you giving everything that you can give?
Yeah.
And are you doing your due diligence? That's all that's available. And the rest is up for grabs. And you'll have games that you don't deserve to win and you'll get lucky and it's amazing. And you have games that you deserve to win and you'll lose. And that's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah,
Get on with
it's like Arsenal fan TV, right? You got specifically DT and Troops. And the way they talk is like they're being let down every single week. It's like they deserve better. Like that's not even an argument about whether or not, Arsenal's problems compared to Bolton's, they're pale into insignificance.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they don't give a shit. And if you're really that offended, but don't go. Just don't. Just don't go.
Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? Because it's like, there are elements of it that you're like, you can see things that are wrong and you want things to be better. And therefore you go, well, do that then. But I find it. I think it's hilarious when people go,
it's
but just spend more money.
Yeah, it's subjective. Everything you think that should be done that way, the manager thinks it's done that way. If he don't, he's a fucking cunt.
Yeah, and do you know what, the other thing, you've said this so many times. You haven't said it for a while. Yeah. There are so many variables that we have no understanding of at all.
No, and everyone's talking about the football club like they have the single foggiest idea what's going on in there.
Yeah,
just buy the player. You know how hard it is, how complicated it is to get a transfer through. Really, really difficult.
Well, but then you'll have like Fulham. You go, don't spend that much. What? What? You just said spend a load of money.
Yeah.
Generally, people go, you spend money, you get excited, and life's great.
It doesn't work like that either. I genuinely, I wish that younger fans, I wish that they remembered football without social media because it was better. Because not everything was put under the microscope. You went to watch your team play, and you won, you lost, whatever, but you got on with it, and that was that. You picked up a newspaper to read about it the next day.
And you made your own conclusions.
Yeah, and ultimately it didn't matter. You were just chatting with your mates. It weren't like, all right, I've got to then tell the world about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm sounding like an old fart now, but it was a lot less stressful following football back then.
Yeah, you go and. So say you didn't go to the game, so it was an away game. You go on Teletext. I was telling Tammy about Teletext the other day. He's like, what?
Do you know what it is?
And I was like, yeah, so say you wanted to go to a new number. So if everyone doesn't know Teletext, it was a thing it was on the telly, but it's basically the internet on the telly. And so you could find out the scores. But the scores would be 3 pages of them. So you'd go to a number, there's a number between 0 and 999. There's 3 numbers you put in. It was like 302 for the Premier League scores. You put it on and there'd be 6 pages. And it would be, and you'd have to wait 15 seconds between it.
Yeah, so there'd be like 4 results on that page, and then it'd flick to the next one.
Yeah,
and then you'd just be watching this for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and especially for the last 5 minutes. But then, even at that moment, that's how binary it was in terms of win or lose. So you'd had less information. Bizarrely, you had less information on what went well, what went bad, what luck was involved.
You literally had nothing.
Stuff.
You had a newspaper report.
Yeah, and so you then you'd lose in the last minute. And you go, lost again. Mum, what's for tea?
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? And you go, let's get on with it.
Or radio. You listen to it on the radio.
Yeah. That is brutal, listening to it on the radio.
Yeah.
It's hot. That is tough.
Do you remember Club Call?
Club Call is an absolute fucking
scam.
Yeah.
So what would happen is, like it was the early days of clickbait. So you'd be watching Teletext, and on the top of it would say, Spurs swoop for star striker, and then there'd be a question mark, an exclamation mark. And you're like, fuck, because you didn't know what clickbait was then. It wasn't a thing. It was just, who's that?
50p a minute, which is
more than that.
Mental.
I think it was maybe 50p a minute, and you ring up, and then you'd have to wait 5 minutes to get the answer, and it would be like Spurs rumoured to be interested in Les Ferdinand, or something like that.
Yeah, I think
bad.
That sounds shocking.
It was bad. Back then, you're like, you couldn't find any information out. You didn't. There's no ways. There was no internet. You had conversations between people. I remember hearing a rumour at school that Spurs were going to sign a player called Enzo Schifo, who's like a big Belgian,
he's amazing,
yeah, really good player. And like you're hearing it from a mate, and you're like, fuck, we're going to sign Enzo Schifo.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
Our attention's just gone down there. Apologies for you young'uns. Do you find that interesting, Tammy? No, question. People just take football a little bit too seriously sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's good that it means something as well. It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you're getting positive affirmation out of it.
Speaking of positive affirmation out of football, maybe football knowledge, one last time this season. Let's go to Twinkles. People take it too seriously, but you can get something out of the game.
That's Flav at 4 a.m. on a night out.
End of season.
Yeah.
Premier League Nut Nuggets, in a Cuban bar playing drum and bass.
Oh, it's so sweaty. You could taste the sweat in the air.
Nice, so those are my favourite sorts of night outs.
Yeah, you liked it. There was a lot of punani in there.
Punani. So this is what you could have done, Tanvir. Could have gone up and go, oh, go.
Oh, mate.
Manly voice.
Because I'm a man.
Yeah. No, I know.
You're literally chatting up a man.
Yeah, wow. Oh, okay. Tell you what though, not many people in here, so bloody sweaty, I just want to get out of here, so you'll do, okay? Because I think we'd make a great duo.
No pedo.
No, great. Yeah, you do seem a bit older. We would make a great duo, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of great duos, Bournemouth duo Ryan Fraser and Callum Wilson combined for 12 Premier League goals. Only Alan Shearer and Chris Sutton, 13 for Blackburn Rovers in 94-95, have ever combined for more in a single campaign.
Holy shit. I'm about to blow.
Weird. Strange thing. You're giving me mixed messages.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're giving
So
me
let's
mixed
go back
messages.
and fuck.
You're like Paul Pogba. Because he reached double figures for league goals in a season for the first time in his top flight career. But he also registered more goal involvements, 22, than he has in any previous campaign in the top 5 leagues, despite everyone having a go and thinking he's crap.
So he's registered his best return in his professional
mixed
career.
messages, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mixed messages.
It's media agenda, isn't
A
it?
bit like you.
Well, it's mostly you guys. You don't really know anything.
Who gives a shit?
Chatting a load of
Who
crap.
gives a shit? Literally no one gives a shit, do they?
it's over now.
So we've
It's
said
over.
something that isn't right. Who cares?
Do you know what? There's one thing I've got to talk to you about.
What's that, mate?
Isn't Rohypnol a terrible drug?
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes, it's a terrible joke.
I just think it's terrible that anyone would do that kind of thing to someone in a club. Do you want another drink? Anyway, speaking of sheep in Wolves clothing, in their game against Brighton in April, Wolves became the first team since 2003-2004 to not commit a single foul in a Premier League match.
What?
I know. Let's go.
No. What was that stat?
They became the first team since 2003-2004 to not commit a single foul in a Premier League match.
Oh, right, I misheard you completely. I thought you meant in the Premier League season. I was like, they didn't have one fucking foul.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's where we're going.
That was great.
Thanks, guys. Just quick fire twinkles there to finish us off.
Absolute
Have you?
stonk on,
Lovely.
That's how you
We finish off one final time with some Flames advice. Last week, we didn't get an update from last week.
No, we do. It's in the Twitter group chat. Go in there.
What was the...
I'm not in that. I've left because I thought we went to Telegram.
Oh.
Tavin, read it out then.
No, I'm not reading this.
Are you not reading it out?
What do you
I'll
mean?
send it to you.
Oh.
No.
I'll read it out.
What? Can we read it out?
What is it?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was the problem before?
So, go on. Well, send it to Flav and he can read it out for
Okay,
this final
look at
Flames
your
advice
WhatsApp, Flav.
Basically, this guy, who we're not going to say his name, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
There's
go
this
on,
girl, she's a Christian, he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
They're going on holiday. She wants to go on holiday with him.
Yeah.
They both had relationships, didn't work out, fancy each other. But is it more trouble than it's worth? Because his family would essentially disown him
Yeah.
if he got with a Christian lady.
You got it, Flav.
Is that about right?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, he wants me to read it out. Should we call him Steve? Lads, since the last one for the weekend of the season is today, I'll give you my update now. Hopefully it makes it into the podcast. Although the tone of it might not be particular in the spirit of the pod, so it's up to you guys whether you want to put this in. So I haven't read it, so I don't know what's going to happen here. Also, you can use my name, no worries. I can't remember your name, so Steve. Steve.
If we can, let's keep it. You just said it.
There's probably about 3 people in Pakistan who watch this podcast, including me.
Okay, big up the
Very
Pakistan
unlikely
community.
anyone is listening will be aware of my situation. Well, I mean, let's not chance it, shall we?
Yeah.
I found more about her relationship with her ex, and it's very dark. She's been emotionally and physically abused by him, and yet she's not fully ready to move on from him, which I've been helping her with. So she's not going to be coming on the holiday. Since the demographic of this podcast is mainly young men, I'd just like to say, in light of this situation, that in our minds, women are seen as conquests to be made, which is well and good if you're transparent about it and take it only as far as the other person is comfortable. But please always question yourself whether you do anything that affects another person, whether you're being hurtful towards them or not. The way it affects another person, man or woman, could mean life or death for them. For my part, the fact that I'm about to lose this woman I love has hit me like a ton of bricks recently, and I've been crying my eyes out since Saturday.
Tavi, could have given us a heads up on that.
I haven't read it.
Let's finish it. So I'll be going solo and make sure I'll try and have the fucking time of my life and forget about the serious back home. For a long time, I didn't realise why a lot of women hated men. And now I do. Not just that, just what I've experienced and what I've seen. You're right, if it's transparent, if it's just sex, then that's fine. But if you're abusing people and ghosting them,
That's not what I do.
No, I can't believe it.
I'm joking. Then you know it's not on.
I think just say like it sounds like you're there for her as a friend, and I think that's something
it's
to be
very nice.
commended. So good for you, mate. In what is sounds like a difficult situation, but one that I'm sure you're both.
Also, like women that
past
have been in abusive relationships, and men actually, it does weird things to your head, and sometimes you won't behave in the way that is most beneficial for you. So don't blame her for that, for being hung up on this other bloke. He would have no doubt had some sort of control over her.
Let's finish off with one final Flames advice. So, bit of a different one for Flames advice. I know, I said it weird there. Flames advice. I know you're both experts on sexual relationships.
Oh yeah.
But this is a very different kind of relationship.
Okay.
A friendship.
Oh no.
I've been friends with a guy from...
We don't deal with friendships here, mate.
Well, we're doing one. We're doing one. Yeah, I thought it was symbolic of our friendship as a three.
It's like that.
Whoa, that's
Is that homo?
That's
fine. I've got no issue.
pedo.
It's not pedo. He's 31.
I've been friends with a guy from secondary school for 4 years after we left, brackets, we were both 19 and 20, and I'm in second year at uni. We had an amazing time at school together, so many funny moments and laughs. A group of us stayed friends and we were all good mates, but this guy is like my best friend, almost.
Is this a girl?
I don't know. No, it's a guy, I think.
Okay.
Almost to a brotherly level. Brotherly level, there you go. Anyway, over the past couple of years, he has changed a lot. He used to be really social, enjoy drinking and having a laugh with the lads and with his own friends too. But after he failed his AS levels and went to work, he's become a bit of a recluse. He got far too drunk when 3 of us met up one time last year. Val stopped drinking and hasn't touched a drop since. He won't come out to any nights out and barely meets up with us when we meet as a group. Being that he's my best mate, I obviously do see him one-on-one still, and obviously we still have a laugh and a joke when we do. I have spoken to him about this, and he says he just gets really nervous when he's asked to do stuff and backs out. I told him he should see a doctor or something, because to me it sounds like he has social anxiety or something, but he refuses any help because he doesn't want to talk about it to anyone else. I really don't want him to get too bad, because it will end up him missing out on some of the best moments of our lives together, and I don't want him to be left behind. What can I do to try and sort him out, and how can I get him to look for help? Cheers, lads. No, it's a bit of a deep topic. I just want my old mate back. P.S. I would change if you could change my name, that would be right. Yeah, that's why I didn't have his name there. So yeah, again, I know it's a little bit heavy, but this is part of it as well, isn't it? It's one of the things that we like about the podcast is kind of having like honest conversations as well. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but we have.
All right, and go around there, give him a nosh.
Oh my God.
Start off like that. So start off quick nosh.
Yeah. You need to relax.
Everyone loves a quick nosh.
Yeah, just sit your bum now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only one thing, and that's the only thing you can do. It's been a great year.
Let's just give him a nosh. Yeah, like social anxiety is a real thing.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do, I was in a relationship with someone who had severe anxiety issues for a long time. And the worst thing you can do is put additional pressure and feed the anxiety by saying, come out, come out, come out. Because you're not going to fix him by forcing him to do something that makes him anxious. There is types of therapy that are like, they're called, it's lost me, like aversion therapy, where you're forced to do this one thing that you're afraid of over and over again until you're cured of it.
Desensitized.
Yeah, but it's a really painful thing to go through.
You're right.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Anxiety is a big thing, certainly in young people. I would take it from his age, maybe early 20s, this guy.
1920.
1920. So anxiety in young people is prevalent. It's massive.
Yes, it is.
Everyone goes through it, and it affects everyone differently. I would think that as he gets older, it will fade. I would encourage him to get therapy. There's some really good it's hypnotherapy stuff that works really well with anxiety. I've mentioned it on the pod before, but there's a type of therapy that I've used in the past called human givens, which is a really odd name. And the amount of people I've recommended this is no one does it. No one says, all right, I'll do it. And this is what you're going to have with your mate. It's like the amount of my mates who've got problems, I say, honestly, go and see one of these therapists. They'll sort you out. And they don't, because they don't believe you. Or often people are scared to get therapy because it won't work. And they'll think, well,
now what?
Yeah, what they've got at the moment, which helps them feel comfortable, is the thought that they could get help and there's this therapy out there. That's a comforting feeling, but the thought of it going there and it not working is terrifying. So, but the fact is, it can't not work because it's like medicine. This stuff, it works better for some people than others, but this type of therapy is it's really, really good for anxiety. And it might be that he just doesn't like going out and getting pissed. I've got mates of mine that don't drink. Yeah. And I do different things with them, go to dinner and...
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, is that I think when you're younger, when you're around that age, that is what you do. That is what your group of friends often do. You go out and you party.
Yeah.
As you get older, you have different friends that you go watch the football with, other friends that you go do other things with other friends that you meet up as a couple when you have a other half, and you have different friends that you do different things with, and so that's not a failure of your relationship if you do other things with this guy in comparison to
and
having
don't
those
project
nights out.
and don't project what you think is a good time on someone else. You know, I read something the other day. You know, is everyone familiar with Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, Eeyore. You know Eeyore, the donkey, depressed donkey.
Yeah.
Constantly depressed. Winnie the Pooh is the best friend in the world. If you know someone who's depressed or someone who has anxiety or whatever, follow the lead of Winnie the Pooh.
That's amazing.
Because he or she, I can't remember. I think it's just a girl actually.
Is it?
Yeah, something. Anyway, irrelevant. It's gender fluid, I think.
Well, Winnie the Pooh's never wearing any pants.
So he could be a boy or a girl. Anyway, look, the fact is what he does is they never expect Donkey.
Jim's looking it up.
They never expect Eeyore to change. They don't force him to be anything other than he is, and they always invite him, include him on every journey that they go to. So don't polarise him for the way he is, but don't force him to change.
Plus, it sounds like this guy's actually got a good relationship with him because they meet outside of their actual friend group as well.
And maybe he thinks your other mates are dicks.
Yeah, or just maybe invite rather than the whole group, invite like one or two of them, so it's not such a massive pressure.
Maybe he feels like he could become addicted to alcohol.
I mean, it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah, apparently it's a girl.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Toronto, OVO.
Do you know what? It's weird, but I was just thinking as you were talking there, so I haven't had to deal with those kind of things in terms of anxiety and stuff like that, but I've had friends who've been on the other side of it, and so your role is that part of it. And
Just give him a nosh?
And I gave him a nosh. and honestly, it's not it's not nice initially, but the reward that they get, they seem to really like it.
Such a nice friend.
No, it kind of ties in with that just checking in phrase that we use on this pod all the time, and it's quite a nice way to end a season, because that is your role, is to and that's what I try and do with the friends that I've had in my life that I've had these difficulties. That it's an ongoing thing, and so when you're there in their hour of need, that's one thing, but after that, some people just go off and then they'll go, okay, well he's fine now. Just keep checking in. That is the bit, and with, like you say, with no pressure at all. Just go, how are you? Yeah. Just keep doing that. Obviously, not every hour. That's too much. But just check in with these people, with your friend, and make sure he's okay. And don't put that pressure on him. Just be there as a mate. That's the role that you can play in this.
Yeah,
and it's a positive
and you can plant seeds and stuff. But you can't make someone change. Yeah, and that, I struggled with that for a long time. Whenever my missus or anyone now actually still has a problem, I want to fix it. Like, what do I think? How do we fix this immediately, rather than just thinking second back? I can't fix this. Let me just what do I? Yeah, but would you just lend your support as best you can, and don't think you can fix everything.
Absolutely, I think that's a good way to end the season, mate. Thank you everyone who's got involved with the podcast this season. I love it. It's such a good part of the week, every single week. To see the rise of Tanvir as the big dog as well, it's been incredible. Tanvir, well done, mate.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
What rollercoaster of emotions he's had this season. So much has happened. What's been your favourite moment of the season? Madness.
What, football-wise?
No.
In the pod?
In the pod. Let us know in the comments below. Final thoughts, Flav? Final message to the One for the Weekend community? Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Tanvir, final message?
Just go out there, do your thing.
Love you, Jim.
Love you, mate. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Go subscribe to my channel. What?
Who'd you have?
I'll have to cut that out.
Oh, sorry, is it now?
No, I'm trying to go a bit high.
So right.
Sure, I'll beep it out, it's fine. Exciting though, do you think?
Yeah, if you like.
See you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.